goes something like this. I love this. The cross just crosses the x-axis. The bounce, it's a double root, like a quadratic. Boop, boop, it bounces in the same spot. No wiggle. Okay? Alrighty, so here's what we know. Each function will have one or more of the roots. X equals -1, x equals 0, and x equals 1. We're going to sketch a graph of each function with the help of our calculator and tell how the function dances at each root. Does it cross, bounce, or wiggle? Okay? Does that make sense? So you can use your calculator or we can just use Desmos. You can use your calculator or we can use Desmos. So I want to show you that this is where a cross, it goes through. Notice that the function goes kind of through. A bounce, it literally bounces on, think of it as a basketball. A wiggle, it does this. It goes boop, boop. If you zoom in on it a whole bunch, you'll see that it's like that one that you asked about, Rose. You'll see that it's actually doing something. So can we just go to Desmos maybe and do this? Yeah, let's go to Desmos. I'm going to try and split our screen. But I lost my mouse. That's all right. So I'm going to split my screen and put some Desmos up there. You think it's a wiggle? Okay. Oh, no, my battery is low. Dang it. It's like the call. Okay. Anyway, here we go. All right. So are any of you guys going into Desmos? Because I can't handle the pressure of being the only person graphing. You're already there? Thank you. Let's do some graphing. Okay. So we're graphing the function y equals 5x times the quantity x plus 1. We're going to talk about what it's doing. So y equals 5x times the quantity x plus 1. The quantity squared. That's degree 2. Let's see. So when I look at this, we're going to sketch it. We're just sketching from -1 to +1. So at -1, does it have a cross, a bounce, or a wiggle? It has a bounce. This is a bounce. And then it like kind of droops down a little bit. And then what does it do? What does it do after it bounces at -1? It crosses where? At 0. It has a cross at 0. So this looks something like this. It has a cross at 0. So the cross at 0 is the 5x, and the bounce is this factor x plus 1, the quantity squared. B and C, girl. BC. BCW. Bounce, cross, wiggle. Well, yeah, in a second. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what is the dance move? When x equals -1, what's the dance move? Well, it's a bounce. What's the exponent? It's degree 2. The bounce is happening right here. Well, there's nothing happening at +1. I'm not that far yet. You're ahead of me. What about when x is 0? That's this right here. It's a cross. What's the exponent? Degree 1. What's the dance move when x equals 1? There is no move. None. No dance move. The dance moves only happen at the roots, right? Alrighty, I'm going to graph my next one. 25x squared times x minus 1, the quantity cubed. Oh my gosh, we're going to see something fabulous here. Okay. So let's take a look at this graph. We have a bounce and we have a wiggle. We have a bounce and a wiggle. So let's try and sketch that. So let's see. It does a bounce at 0. So it starts up here and it goes like a bounce. And then it does a wiggle. A wiggle. So when x equals -1, when I look at my graph at -1, is it touching the x-axis at all? Is there anything happening? No, no move. None. What about when x is 0? What's happening there? It's a bounce. Why is that? Well, let's look at our equation. It's x squared. Squared. Bounces happen on the power of 2 or even powers. What about the exponent? Or sorry, never mind. Sorry. What about when x equals 1? What's happening there? What do we say this was? You can see it hopefully really well right here. What's happening when x is 1? A wiggle. Well, what is the exponent there? 3. Isn't it x minus 1, the quantity cubed? Okay. I'm going to do number 3 with you, and then you guys are going to have to finish the rest. Okay? I'm going to do number 3 with you, and you're going to have to finish the rest. So number 3 is the equation -8x. That means that's where 0 is, right? Because as a root, -8x times the quantity of x minus 1, the quantity cubed, times the quantity of x plus 1, the quantity squared. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So what's happening at -1? Yeah, at -1, we got a bounce. Why? Because it's squared. X plus 2 squared, degree 2. Oh my goodness. Get rid of that. Okay, it's back. Shh, undo. Woo, relax. Okay, what happens when x is 0? Well, when x is 0, we have a cross. Why? It's degree 1. What about when x is +1? That's this factor right here, the x minus 1 factor. It has a wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Degree 3. So I'm going to try and sketch this. I'm a horrible sketch artist, but I think it goes something like, it crosses at 0, right? So it goes up, bounce, cross. Oh, good golly Moses. Let's try that again. I got to make this nice. I got to make this bigger. Sorry, guys. Okay. So let's see. My graph goes like, it does a bounce and then a cross and then a wiggle. I really am struggling with the wiggle part. Something like that. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to go back to your module. Everybody good with that? Okay, I'm stopping the video.